Alright, so as you can see, I end up cutting down a little bit, maybe a little bit too much, so that way you guys could get an idea exactly my thought processes. We could go with the angle, have it protrude out a little bit more, add on a little bit more, of course, with the metal. I mean, the nice thing about the 3-foot section is if you're not happy with what you got, you can always try to reform it back exactly what you want to do. Got an idea exactly what I want, and we could have it protruding out like this at an angle. Now, how can we make angles inside metal? We can't, but we can always cut metal off. And that's the nice thing about us being able to do it. So next, we move over to phase, exactly what we want to do. I went ahead and went over to the vise, and I decided that I could make the bends a lot better by just using the vise to make my bends. So as you can see, it kind of look like 8 hangers. I made it a little bit too close, but you can always knock off 1/8 of an inch and go from there. So it gives us a better idea exactly what we want to do and how much room we have to work with on here. Like I said, 8 hangers. Gives us the angle to go outwards that we need, that we want. And if we want to, we could bend it a little bit. Gives us an idea what we can work with. Now when we do this, change this over to the flat bar, going to have to make sure that our metal, we use the inside diameters versus the outside diameters. And we might have to come in a little bit more an angle on this one, which is fine, as long as we get it right. Got everything in which I need. I got the little makeshift bar in which I need. So we're going to end up going by exactly what it is on there. If we screw up, we do have extra metal in order to go by. So as I said, I was going to undercut it by about 1/8 of an inch. That's about 1 rod of steel here. So I'm going to originally start out with a little bit longer, but the inside diameter is going to be cut short by 1/8 of an inch. Want to go with a little bit longer, we can always round out the area which we need with a grinder. So we'll go with right here. I want the tabs to be at least somewhat similar. We got that. We are gonna actually have to, we have this. That's gonna be our starting point. Now, we gotta get this length here as well. So, we'll measure this out. We know that we're gonna have at least, we'll go with, let's go with 2 1/4, all right? So, we measure the depth of this. Now we got the length to which we want it for. So, it doesn't hurt to go a little bit over. Well, actually it does. We're kind of tight in the quarters in which we got here. So we're going to end up measuring at the base right here. Right here. Right here. And go from there. So we're going to go with 2 inches and measure out 2 inches, and we're going to go on the outside of our mark. Doesn't hurt. Always go on the outside. Now we know that we're going to end up having another 2 inches over on that. So we just measure this out on the inside and then subtract 1/8. So we got 2 1/8 for the inside. So that's 1/4, that's 1/8. These are where we're going to end up bending it. Now, this is our bottom, this is our side, so again, 2 inches. And now we're getting close. So we're going to go with the exact measurement of 2 1/8 again. So 2 1/8 on the outside. Now it's always best to mark. Try to get this as close as possible. So we're going to want to mark our area. We're going to assume that everything is straight on here. Typically is. I got machines which do that. So it gives us an idea where we can make our bends at. So right here would be our cutoff point. This is our bend up. This is the bend for the side. This is the base. This is the side. This is the little earpiece. Here we could use a cutoff or use a grinding wheel. So we'll go ahead and get that set up. Alright, so as I said, now we bend. Make sure that we have it lined up exactly. Gotta make sure we're even on these lineups. If we're not, it can destroy the whole project. So I'm gonna push inwards, get down to the base. Ooh. Don't want that to happen. Now, this is going to have to come in the opposite way. Going to have to go forward. So we can line up. Then we move that way. Now, I do this again. Make sure that we're lined up. Close. Do it again. And the last one is going to be easier to do, because now you're going the opposite way. Then we verify with the measurements, or we verify by looking on that. Now, to me, I might have this a little bit too wide, which is a possibility. As you noticed, kind of screwed up, wasn't staying true to form, but we'll see. All right, went and took a look, and I was correct. The bottom part is a little bit too wide. Now, this is the short side. So what we're going to end up doing is that we're going to end up using a hammer. We can go with ball peen. It's not going to matter. Now, because of the thickness of this, we'll be able to take it. Just make sure it's inside there. I moved it a 1/4 inch, or what you can see is a 1/4 inch. And now I'm going to end up pounding it to reshape this. Now we got a true angle, which shouldn't be much of a problem. So now all I gotta do is pound this down so that way everything lines up. Yeah, of course, this is going in the, it looks like it's going over in the other way. That's because of the way that we got this. We're gonna have to try to get this to get as straight as possible using a vise, at least to help out to a certain extent. Remember what I said, we can always go, we can always end up fixing this. If need be. Now, because this is off, because this was off, this was off. So now we gotta make the adjustment. We're gonna end up, let's see, how do we want to do this? Best place. Now, looks like it's going off in opposite direction. We don't want that, but we can always fix that. I'm Wild Rider. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and go ahead and click that subscribe button and that like button. And until next time, ride safe, and I'll see you in the next ride.